Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers, the only Super Smash Brothers podcast where the two of us make Smash Brothers movesets. If there was a second where we did that, I would be very confused and be like, what the fuck? How? How did we forget about it? I don't know. It just wouldn't make any sense. You know, I unless it's a multiverse, but multiverses just get messy, and I don't want to deal with the Supercast Brothers multiverse because then you've got incursions and secret wars and
Uh,
one
well,
one
you have to
Shumagarath
deal.
is enough for me.
You would have to deal with the world where you're me and I'm you.
And that is officially
But
nightmare fuel. Thank you.
yes, yes. One day you wake up and you're trapped in my skin, not in the way you'd normally assume. Hello, my friends.
What does your
Who's
cup
I?
say? All I can read is walrus. Ah,
I
I
am the
okay.
Lord.
Yeah, that makes sense. So anybody's seen the video, or I guess even hearing the audio, you might notice things are tainted a bit different for Jono. His laptop camera decided it doesn't want to work anymore. So he's having to record from his phone. So audio is going to be a bit different for him. Please forgive. He'll fix it in the next 5 to 10 business years, somewhere in that range. But for
That,
now,
that
we've just got him as we have him.
isn't that just the case? Isn't
Unfortunately,
that just the case?
unfortunately.
How is the audio? Is it at least okay, palatable? Okay.
I mean, it probably my perfectionist attitude hates it, but sometimes I have to remind myself that listen, you just gotta let things go. Sometimes, sometimes the
you know,
situation demands get over yourself.
I just remembered I have a microphone on my phone.
Listen,
Whoops.
it's too late. We're already going. You can try it next time.
I
Uh but we are
can do this
here.
now.
Oh dear.
I can do this now.
Oh dear. He's for you audio listeners. His phone is on a tripod and he is tilting it to make it look diagonal. And I feel like he's now going to be forever off center just slightly. I hate this
Somehow it
on an
works.
internal level. But once
I am the
again,
walrus.
sometimes you are forced to get the hell over yourself.
You're just a small child.
I just a small child.
A
Inside
dino
jokes,
nuggy
you
world.
know. Yeah, the Dino Nuggies go better with applesauce than they do with mac and cheese. I will die on that hill.
No ketchup for you.
No, ketchup is fine,
Okay.
but
Trevor,
mac and cheese
please.
is not. Well, Trevor can go join my dad in the We Hate Ketchup Club.
Well, you won't be joining Ebit because Ebit likes ketchup.
Unfortunate for Trevor.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
You know, I was trying to get into it, and then we got off topic immediately, as per usual, really. But it's a Smashtopia episode, which means we make a move set. But before we make a move set, we got showcases to go over. Characters or otherwise that we've uploaded to the Smashtopia wiki that we want to talk about because where the hell else can we? So we're doing it here
Right.
now. We both got two. We're going to go over them and we'll start making our move set for today's character, who you can see in the title of the video or wherever, or podcast, or wherever you're watching this, listening. I don't know, man. Anyways, hey, Jono,
Starts with an O.
what'd you say to me?
Starts with an O.
I don't think. Mm,
Character.
what?
If you come from the back, it starts with an O. It's
Oh,
backwards.
I thought you were saying, you know what? I'm not going to go down that line of thought. Hey, why don't you give us your
Where are you
first
going?
showcase? I'm not
Yes,
talking
yes,
about what I was thinking.
yes. My first showcase. Let me pull that up on my laptop here. That's so strange. Normally, I'm speaking to you through this device, but now you can see it before your very eyes.
I mean, from a certain point of view, you are still speaking at the device when
Yes.
you hold it in front of you like that.
Oh, you can't see that very well. It's
No, I
special.
see an ad.
Yeah, it's for
Where's your ad block,
NHTSA.
sir? What the hell?
I
Join the rest of society and use ad
I
block.
have other I create ads. It's part of my living, so I
I'm
can't do such
sorry.
a thing. Sorry. Uh,
Your ads don't
let
interrupt
us.
my YouTube videos, though.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So get this.
Uh huh.
Get this. Um, my first showcase is an old woman who has trains for legs. Oh, okay. Yeah. There she is.
And Jean from The Legend
And
of
Jean
Zelda
from Spirit.
Spirit Tracks.
So it's, at a certain point, Zelda decided that the next natural step in Hyrule's evolution are people who are trains.
I don't know if Zelda decided that, but go on.
Probably Miyamoto decided that.
I don't know if it was Miyamoto.
Or, I don't know.
Aonuma is probably
Somebody did.
closer. Somebody definitely
Somebody
decided
did.
that.
Somebody did. I mean, it's a much better game than Phantom Hourglass. I still don't prefer this style of gameplay, but it's much better than Phantom Hourglass. They realized what they wanted to do here. It's like I can respect that. And then there's train people. But anyway, I made uh, I made something for someone I don't respect with Angie. Um, so who is Angie? You may ask. Well, she's a Locomo who protects the Tower of Spirits located at the center of the Spirit Tracks. And her holy goal is to protect the Spirit Tracks and prevent the demonic Malladus from breaking free of his prison. Ah, she was also friends with Tetra when she was young, so she's like fucking like 300 years old at this point. All that said, this is a spirit submission. Who, who do you believe Angine is represented by? Who would be who would be a
Uh,
clear option?
See, I know I've looked at this before, but I don't. I'm trying to think. My first thought is Professor Egad, because another old character. But
Yeah.
is there anybody that could be a train?
Hmm. Perhaps you want
Oh,
me to just tell
maybe
you?
maybe Mecha Fiora.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. That's a great idea. Let me tell you. The player fights 3 gray-colored Garfields on top of the spirit train.
Damn it! Why? Does she have cats and I don't remember this?
She's just gray and short.
Okay.
On top of the spirit train, pro cycling bikes and jet hats will spawn continuously throughout the match, and the Garfields will prefer to use them to ram into their opponents like a locomotive. When the items are not on hand, they'll tend to ride Odie into their foe instead. Knock out all 3 Garfields, and you've got this in the bag.
I assume this is on the Spirit Track stage.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is better
Or
than I thought it
Spirit
was going
Train,
to be.
rather.
Spirit,
Whatever.
Spirit Train. Spirit Train is it.
I hate everything about it. And what's worse is that I'm responsible for it. Because this one came up. God, was that last year or the year before? When you attempted to
This is the
do
year.
one submission for every day, and I was giving you every once in a while, I gave you like, all right, here's a list of challenges. And I remember one of them was like, it was either I don't remember if I directly said do Angie. I think I might have, or if it was do something with Spirit Tracks. And you're just like, I got this. And it's like, okay,
It was over a year ago at this point, unfortunately.
God.
And I still haven't made the Great Flying Lasagna stage either.
You have not. There's a lot from you that we're missing. There's a lot from me that we're missing. But
More from me though, probably.
uh,
Well,
percent.
not by ratio, but by what you would expect and versus what you're getting. It's not a very high input. In fact, I've submitted nothing this year so far as of this recording discussion.
No, it's true. I thought maybe you might have done. I thought you did something.
Oh, you know
Maybe I'm
what I
thinking of
did?
last year.
I did 50M from Donkey Kong.
That wasn't this year, was it?
Well, in that case, I haven't done anything. No,
I know how to find out. I know how to find
I
out.
wish to rectify this. How I
Uh,
rectify?
that doesn't make any sense. Okay, no, you haven't done any. The last thing you did on the wiki was July of 2023.
Wow, 2023. Okay, well, at least it was less than a year ago. Wasn't that much less than a year ago.
It's close. It's 10 months.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. How should I remedy this? What should I submit?
Um,
By the next Smashtopia episode that comes out, I will be showcasing a brand new submission that I will have done by that point.
you heard it here first, folks. If Jono fails at this, he owes me $500.
Okay, there you go. You've heard it first. I was gonna
Uh,
say, make it a dare. Give me something good.
I think I just did.
Yeah, you sure you want it to be $500 and not, I don't know, like a copy of Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite?
Absolutely not. We're gonna move on to my first showcase. Now, first of all, John, I have a question for you. Are you familiar with the game Overcooked?
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I know it.
Good, 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 good. Because we're about to go beyond Overcooked.
Okay.
So, this enemy submission was made on a whim. When I was watching one of RoboOt's streams, they've been playing through Honkai Star Rail, and I saw them fighting an enemy because this one is it's a JRP it's an RPG turn based. There's an enemy I saw them fighting. I was like, what the fuck is that? That thing looks incredible. I need to know. I need to know more about this, and I had them fight it more and show me its attacks, and then I did a little bit of research, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm doing this. So, John, I want you to look on the Smashtopia wiki for something called Beyond Overcooked, which is
Beyond
now honest
Overcooked.
because that's the name of the enemy that I'm doing here. And before I describe it for our audio listeners, I want you to see this thing.
Let me go look at this thing. What the hell?
This
What the
is
fuck?
a mecha dinosaur chef.
Yes.
It is a
Yes.
robot, a culinary robot that was before it malfunctioned essentially, and you have to fight it, and it can breathe fire. And part of its little blurb and its little lore bits is that it was starting to use its fire breath on diners instead of the ingredients that it was supposed to use to make food. So that happens. So I
It's
decided this
quite a
thing looks
bit.
incredible. I want to make this guy into an enemy. So Beyond
Mhm.
Overcooked is a large and heavy enemy. It's a mecha dinosaur. What do you expect? Looks like a T-Rex, and it's capable of dealing high damage with its attacks, while also having a higher HP pool and also resistance to most forms of damage. So tough to kill. Only
Mhm.
fire, lightning, and strangely wind-based attacks will inflict normal damage to Beyond Overcooked. Not extra damage, but normal damage. Everything else is at a reduction.
Woof.
Beyond Overcooked is also slow and will not chase fighters very far at all. but it is usually accompanied by 1 to 3 smaller enemies which serve as its support. That becomes important for later on. So Beyond Overcooked has 3 attacks and a few notable traits in Honkai Star Rail. One trait in particular we'll be discussing, but first of all, 2 of the attacks. We have Ladle Swirl, which is basically just slamming its head downwards, like you're trying to hit it into the ground, essentially. Just trying to go for a head-on bash attack against fighters that are within melee range. If it connects, fighter will take damage and be knocked downwards. If they hit a platform, they will bounce off of it and go up into the air. Then there is Tornado Toss, which has nothing to do with tornadoes. It's just the name of the attack that, I don't know, I took these names straight out of the game. But it's with a bit of windup. Beyond Overcooked will spin around as it lashes forwards with its meaty tail as he swipes forward to hit fighters that are a bit farther out. This attack it doesn't necessarily hone, but it doesn't just do a flat horizontal sweep. It can swing up or down diagonally towards the direction of the fighter. It deals less damage than Ladle Swirl and will knock fighters back horizontally. Now here's where we get to the interesting thing about this enemy. Because it has a trait called Ignite Stove. After Beyond Overcooked has lost a quarter of its health, it'll start to use this technique from time to time. Ignite Stove will start out with Beyond Overcooked raising its head up and firing a small stream of flames out of its mouth at a diagonal angle. These flames will deal a very small amount of damage as Beyond Overcooked begins to charge up its fire, and if it succeeds, it will then use its strongest attack, Flaming Stir Fry. Now, fighters have a chance to stop Beyond Overcooked by inflicting enough damage to it before it can let loose this attack. Fire-based attacks are the most effective, and fire attacks are the most effective at this as you're essentially trying to cause Beyond Overcooked to overheat. If Beyond Overcooked takes enough damage, a kitchen mishap will occur where Beyond Overcooked's flames will backfire as a small explosion occurs centered on Beyond Overcooked, inflicting fire damage to everything and everyone around it, including any fighters that next to Beyond Overcooked, other enemies like its support units, as well as Beyond Overcooked itself. So if you can trigger a kitchen mishap, it's going to be damaging itself. Additionally, if a kitchen mishap occurs, Beyond Overcooked will be inflicted with a permanent debuff, causing it to take double damage from all attacks.
Oh, shit.
That's the trade-off for having a high HP pool with damage reduction on against most moves. It has a little bit of balance there. Now, if you fail to trigger a kitchen mishap, and Ignite Stove did its job, then we have Flaming Stir Fry. So, Flaming Stir Fry can once the energy has been charged up, Beyond Overcooked will load out a mechanical roar before breathing out a massive gout of flames from its mouth. These flames can stretch as far as Battlefield and can inflict multiple hits of high amounts of damage, making this one of the single most powerful attacks amongst all enemy units. This, of course, is balanced out by the fact that it's relatively easy to stop with kitchen mishaps, but if you fuck up, you're gonna know it. There's gonna be consequences to fucking up. And he can do this Ignite Stove, Flaming Stir Fry cycle multiple times until he's dead. But the debuff that he can get from kitchen mishap will not stack. You can't do quadruple damage to him.
Right. That's crazy. Just looking at the thing, it's what a formidable. And this is an enemy.
Yeah. He's an enemy. Not quite like stronger than your average enemy. Not quite mini boss tier. Maybe like a step or two below mini boss, and he'd be about the size as Ridley. Not sure the exact proportions, dimensions, but somewhere in that general area.
Okay, I can see it now. That was quite the thing, quite the enemy submission to digest. When you'd first mentioned it, I was thinking like, oh, it's something from Overcooked. But no, not quite.
Nope,
It's
not quite at all.
That's pretty great.
I definitely did that lead-in of Overcooked on purpose. This one was quite literally just, I saw Asa fighting one of these, and I looked up at my screen, was like, because I was, they stream while I'm working, so I looked up and was like, what the hell is this mecha dinosaur chef? I need information, because that's incredible. And I took it and ran. And it's pretty faithful.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, on to my second submission for this beautiful showcase of ours, I suppose. Um, do you remember your childhood best friends?
Not really. Don't. I didn't. I
Oh,
played video games and was on
at,
the
at
computer.
some point, it may have been me. Isn't that something?
Yeah, kind
In a
of.
sense, yeah, that's great. And Eric and all those
No.
guys, wonderful times. Speaking of Eric, this is his childhood video game crush. Saria from Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
Yeah,
he could do
yeah,
worse.
she's she's known for being supportive of Link and being his childhood best friend and being a sage who helps seal Ganondorf and stuff. Oh, and she has a song that everybody knows and loves. It's been a part of Smash since Melee. Saria's song. So, this is an assist trophy of Saria. She appears on the stage um, with her fairy ocarina and then, fairy friends floating around her and just plays Saria's song for 10 seconds. Over the course of these 10 seconds, there is some buff mechanics going on for the summoner. So they're padded in a golden hue, like a light, ethereal light. And during that time, they have a 1.2 time buff to their attack and defense, and they also heal 5% damage every second for those 10 seconds.
That's a lot of healing.
It's pretty substantial. Yeah, that's why she's very rare. So she's a very rare assist trophy.
Makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, I had thought about well, make it 1% or maybe 3%. No, 5 is a nice full number. I'll just keep it at that and make it a rare occasion. Kind of the antecedent to the Skull Kid amiibo. Sorry, I'm assist trophy. Sorry, it helps you, and I wish there was a Skull Kid amiibo. And Skull Kid just kind of makes everyone mad, including you summoned them.
Yeah.
It's a bad assist trophy.
Poor Skull Kid. The next Smash game will give Skull Kid a new role in Smash as
Not
a
as a villain.
boss for Majora's Wrath.
That would be badass. But yeah.
It replaces the Ganon boss battle.
Naturally, the only thing we're gonna get new for Zelda characters is some weird Link move where he uses his spirit hand.
It will be Breath of the Wild Zelda, and she'll have the gamepad.
That'll show him.
She'll be called Wild Zelda, except she's really not wild, so it doesn't make any sense.
Or maybe it'll be Tears Zelda. Wouldn't that be a name?
And she cries the whole time?
Yeah. In a way.
So that's spoilers. That's spoilers. That is a big spoiler.
And Toy Link will join her.
Huh. All right, last showcase. It's one of mine. This one has some history to it. This is a character that I have wanted to make since the Mercurius days. So this is something like 14, 15 years in the making.
Fuck.
This is also an April Fool's joke.
On yourself.
Yeah, on myself and on the wiki, because you may recall last year I started doing a new thing. I said we're okay every April Fools. I'm gonna do fourth party content on the wiki. Last year I did several things from Yu-Gi-Oh, which culminated in Yugimoto as a character who had a lot of special moves and an RNG mechanic to them, not unlike Heroes menu selection.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. This year it's much simpler.
Karibo's there.
Karibo is there, yes.
Yeah. Amber Mammoth is there.
That's not true. Amber Mammoth is not part of Yuki's deck in any of his
Well,
appearances. And I only
maybe
pull from
Amber
cards he
Mammoth will
actually
be on
uses.
the Smashtopia wiki eventually.
Not from me, probably. If you make it, I mean, you can either edit the dual card side, which is basically a Yu-Gi-Oh! Assist trophy, or you can make an Amber Mammoth Spirit, I guess, if you really want to.
Or character, who knows?
Maybe that'll be your one piece of new content for the year on the wiki. Amber Mammoth Spirit Battle.
Well, yeah, and the character representing it is what was his name? I don't remember.
Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Why? Because Arnold Armstrong, the voice of Amber Mammoth, sounds like Schwarzenegger. I said Arnold
That is
Armstrong. I
better
know
than
what I
what I
meant.
was going to say. So let's do it. Boy. Anyway,
Yeah.
you were saying?
Anyways, I was saying. So I did this year as Legos. For an old game I really liked as a kid, Lego Island. I replayed it recently. Doesn't hold up, sadly.
It
Uh,
sucks.
I wouldn't say it sucks, but it's not great. To be fair,
I feel
the devs definitely had fun making the game. I think they were on a bit of a
Mhm.
shoestring budget. So
I feel the
it's.
same way about Lego Racers, which I played profoundly as a kid.
I
So I feel
never made it past the first circuit.
it's
I never
hard.
beat Base of the Bat Lord.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fuck Basil the Bat Lord. That was such a great moment when I beat him, but it was horrible. It was bad.
I bet.
Yeah.
But the character I have here is one of 5 playable characters in Lego Island, and more or less the main character, and I think he's the only playable character in the game's sequel. It's Pepperoni, the pizza delivery dude, the dude with the food, as he calls himself.
The
Pepper is the
only
adopted son of Mama and Papa Briccolini, and works as the pizza delivery driver, or skater rather, of the Briccolini Pizzeria, the only place to get food on Lego Island.
it's pizza time.
No Raimi memes.
Why?
Because
Got dirt in your eye?
I don't know that one. But Pepper, love this character. I wanted to make him for years, and now I finally have. So let's get into him. Entrance animation. He's going to appear on the stage piece by piece as he quickly gets constructed from the legs up. So first his legs will appear, then his torso will slide down on top of that, and then his head will appear and slide down on top of his torso. He's literally being built on the stage. For his Kirby hat, Kirby will wear Pepper's pizzeria hat on top of his head, sideways, just like Pepper does. For his 3 taunts, first, Pepper will tap one of his hands against his hat, which will cause the hat to change from white to red. And then using this taunt again, we'll change the hat's color to green, and then to blue, and then back to white. This references how in the game, each character has their own way to interact with the different characters in the world. And one of these ways that characters can interact is by changing the color of the outfits of other characters that they click on. For the down taunt,
Nice.
Pepper's body will briefly fall apart, more or less. Not really fall apart, but like it separates itself. So his arms and head will come out of his torso, and then his body will lift off of the legs. And after he exclaims, "Whoa!" Pepper's body will pull itself back together. And then for the final taunt, Pepper will pull out a Lego pizza and eat it in one big bite before saying, "Mmm, tasty." Really likes that Lego pizza.
Whoa!
For his victory poses, Pepper will skate out onto the screen before doing a high-flying flip trick in the air on his skateboard as the camera pauses on him mid-air. The second will have Pepper juggle 3 piping hot pizzas while he rides his skateboard in a circle around the victory screen. While he does this, Pepper will say, "I've got more degrees than a thermometer," which comes from his intro video in the game. And then the third victory pose, camera will start out zoomed in close on a spinning pizza before it pans back to reveal Pepper twirling the pizza above him with one hand. Pepper will then leap and spin through the air on his skateboard before tossing the pizza off screen. Hopefully for
Yeah,
successful
buddy.
delivery, otherwise somebody's about to get really upset.
This is great already. Keep that pepper going.
So
What's up? Yeah.
before I get into his moveset, I want to cover his alternate costumes quickly. As I mentioned, Pepper is one of 5 playable characters in Lego Island, and since we do 10 alternate costumes on Smashtopia, and none of these characters can really do anything different between them, I decided to make them all be part of Pepper's costumes, much like Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings.
Yeah.
So there's the default for each character, and then one alternate color for each of them. But it's Pepperoni, Mama Briccolini, Papa Briccolini, Nick Brick, and Laura Brick. All you can play as any of them. They'll just change their voice lines. Although it might be weird to hear Nick Brick say, "I've got more degrees than a thermometer." I didn't really think about that, but I guess they would maybe they'll have different voice lines while having the same actions. Oh well, it's fine.
Oh well, indeed. Well, something to work out. Those maybe Sakurai could voice them.
I mean, get the original VAs if they're still alive.
We'll figure that out, and if they are, we'll have them on the show and talk to them.
Deal. Moveset though. So for Pepper's standard special, he wields a pizza, not a gun. There's no guns in Lego Island. There is a pizza turbo chucker, which shoots pizzas out of a helicopter, but that's different.
Yeah.
So pizza with an exclamation point. With a press of the button, Pepper will pull out a Lego pizza and hold it in his hand like an item, because it is. He just summoned an item.
Right.
While Pepper is holding a Lego pizza, he can either use the item and eat it in one big bite, or throw it forwards. If the Lego pizza is eaten, it will heal Pepper 5% damage, not per second, just 5%, while also giving him flaming breath for 5 seconds. This flaming breath is similar enough to the fire breath that you can bring out whenever you use the super spicy curry item. Alternatively, if the Lego pizza is thrown, it will fly for a decently far distance before it falls to the ground. If the Lego pizza hits an opponent, it will disappear on hit and cause him to take a small amount of fire damage. However, if the Lego pizza doesn't hit a fighter and instead hits a wall or just lands on the ground, it will become an item that any fighter can then pick up. When another fighter picks it up, they can use the Lego pizza the same way that Pepper can and choose to either eat it or throw it. The Lego pizza can only be thrown 2 times, as it will disappear no matter what after the second toss. Additionally, in order to limit the effectiveness of the Lego pizza and stop it from being broken OP please nerf, Pepper cannot pull out a second Lego pizza while the first one is still on the stage, or when he or another fighter is currently breathing fire. Pepper is limited to only being able to use up to 5 Lego pizzas per stock. If Kirby absorbs Pepper's abilities, he will be limited to only 3 Lego pizzas before he loses his Kirby hat. I had to do a lot of thinking to make this be somewhat balanced.
Hey, it works.
It
works in the end.
It does. For the
Feed
side
him that brick pizza.
Yes. For the side special, Pepper will be using his skateboard for this one. He will hop out onto a skateboard and skateboard in a straight line because this move is called kickflip. Pepper cannot turn around once he is on the skateboard and will keep skating forwards until he runs into something and damages it. By pressing the special attack button a second time, Pepper will perform a kickflip and jump into the air as he continues to move forward. This will separate Pepper from his skateboard, which will spin and flip through the air, keeping pace with Pepper's momentum, as Pepper and his skateboard become 2 separate hitboxes for a short time. Pepper will then land back on his skateboard like a seasoned pro and continue to skate forwards. Pepper can kickflip multiple times during the use of the special move. However, if Pepper uses this move while he is already in the air, then he can't use it again until he lands back down on the stage. Pepper is also capable of canceling out of the move by either tapping down the control pad, using a shield, or jumping, and when he does so, the skateboard will just disappear. And he will stop his movement unless he jumps in, obviously he jumps in the air.
So Tony Hawk is a pepperoni echo.
Yeah, more or less.
Nice. I'm glad he got 3rd place in our Tournament of Champions.
It'd probably be closer to Otto from Rocket Power.
Yeah.
Similar proportions, you know.
Otto's not made of Legos like Tony Hawk is. What can he do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the up special, a smaller version of Lego Island's very own police helicopter will manifest on the stage right where Pepper was standing with himself in the pilot seat. There's a few vehicles that you can create in Lego Island, and the helicopter is the only one that's actually important. So, helicopter felt appropriate for the up special.
I love that show.
What?
Rocket Power. It's underrated.
Oh.
That's a good show.
Yeah, and the
Oh
fact that
yeah,
it's
the
not
move. I
represented
mean,
in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl is a crime.
yeah. Maybe it could be represented in Smash someday. Yeah, it works. It's adequate. I take it the propellers don't hurt anybody.
I haven't even described the move yet.
Yeah, I feel it though. I can feel it in my heart.
Well, Pepper will pilot the helicopter and command it to fly him upwards in a mostly straight line for a short distance. The flight path can be altered to a degree to allow Pepper some horizontal recovery, but it's relatively minor. The helicopter's
Okay.
blades on top of the helicopter are capable of hitting components multiple times, kind of like King K. Rool's jetpack helicopter blades that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And the helicopter's main body can also be used to ram the fighters to attack them from the side. The tail of the helicopter, however, does not have a hitbox associated with it. It's effectively just a background element, because otherwise this would be way too big.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so it's like minor damage from the propeller, and then you can kind of hit it around with the body.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
basically King K. Rool's up special, but
Yeah.
probably less good at recovery, I would say.
Gotcha. King K. Rool looks so happy when he uses that move.
Yeah, I'm glad he's in the game.
Yeah, me too. Glad Pepperoni's here as well.
Yeah. For the down special, we have Brick Buddy. Lego Island likes to spawn characters right next to you as you're running around, and then they'll just start a random conversation with you. So I decided to make that be the down special, because why not?
Yeah, why not?
One of the many inhabitants of Lego Island will appear suddenly in front of Pepper and exchange a short conversation with him. The Lego person will act as a shield in front of Pepper, protecting him from being attacked briefly as the two talk. If no attack hits the Lego person, then the conversation will be wrapped up rather quickly and they will disappear. If an attack does hit the Lego person, however, they will fall apart into three pieces: head, torso, and legs, and block the attack. Some high damaging attacks, however, will still be capable of breaking apart the Lego person while also reaching through and damaging Pepper. When the Lego person breaks apart, their body piece will serve as temporary items that Pepper or other fighters can pick up and throw, not unlike Wario's bike in Smash Brawl. These Lego pieces can only be thrown once each and will hit for a small amount of damage. The Lego person that appears in front of Pepper is pulled from a long list of possibilities, which includes, but is not limited to, Bill Ding, Dr. Clickett, Nancy Nubbins, Snap Lockett, and Studs Lincoln. There's some great names in Lego Island, sir.
Building.
The police captain is called Captain D. Rom, CD Rom.
Nice.
There's a lot of names like that. Enter and Return are the two nurses.
Nice.
Yeah.
CD-ROM. Kids these days don't know what that means.
They don't.
What is that? The funny cop.
I'm going to skip the final smash, come back to it, and talk about the extra skill first. So, our extra skill is called Brick by Brick, referencing both your ability to build and also one of the names of the songs in the game, which actually has, it's actually a song. It has vocals. So, that's the thing.
Wow.
As Pepper fights, he will slowly be building up a meter that gets filled up with Lego bricks. Pepper will gain these bricks by attacking his opponents and also being hit by their attacks, with more bricks being gained from attacks that hit Pepper. When this extra skill is activated, Pepper will use up his meter to near instantly build a vehicle out of the Lego bricks that he has accumulated. The vehicle will then speed forward and ram to anything in its path until it either hits a wall, fighter, or goes careening off the stage. Pepper is also capable of riding the vehicle by continuing to press and hold the extra skill input while Pepper is building the vehicle, which allows him to use this extra skill for some horizontal movement as well, very similar to how Villager can use his side special Gyroid. The vehicle
Right.
that Pepper ends up building will be determined by how full his meter was, and the damage and knockback will both increase with each vehicle. The different vehicles and the order that they can be built for this extra special are the buggy, the ambulance, and the race car, which combined with the helicopter means that the only buildable vehicle in Lego Island that is not represented in this moveset is the jet ski, which is why I gave it its own hazard in Pepper's home stage, Lego Island.
I would ride a Lego jet ski.
Good luck.
Take
There's
it
sharks.
take it to Pizza Town. Yeah. Feed
All
the
right.
sharks.
So, our final smash is a teensy bit different. And then it kind of breaks convention a little, because there's a lot of cinematic final smashes in Smash, but none of them start with a cinematic. Until now.
Huh.
Pepper will pull out a Lego pizza and spin it on the tip of his hand, where the camera zooms out super close to the pizza, or zooms in, rather, super close to the pizza. After a few moments, the camera will then zoom back out as Pepper is now joined by Mama Briccolini, Papa Briccolini, Nick Brick, and Laura Brick as they all gather around an absolutely massive Lego pizza. This pizza is the size of a house. It's too big. Pepper and his friends will then begin to talk about the pizza as they majorly hype it up. They describe the amazing ingredients and how it's prepared. The main ingredient that they talk about is pepperoni because his name is Pepperoni. If you didn't get the joke, I'm explaining it to you here. But they also make a point to talk about how hot and spicy the pizza is, which is the plot point in Neko Island. The game doesn't have much plot, but the plot starts with this pizza is too spicy. It's so hot that it can melt cell doors.
Okay.
Yeah. As all 5 characters talk about the pizza, and they also promote how everybody should go get their own at Lego Island Pizzeria. You know, they do a little bit of name drop promotion there, because why not? But once Pepper and his friends have finished hyping up the pizza, Pepper will finish off by saying, "It's the greatest pizza in the world!" Because this final smash is called the greatest pizza in the world! I had fun with it. But then at this point, the camera will then return to showing the actual battle screen. The cinematic is over. So what happens now? Well, a few moments later, a giant Lego pizza will come rolling in from the side of the screen as it barrels through the stage like a giant wheel of death. This massive pizza does a high amount of fire damage to all fighters that are in its way before rolling all the way from one side of the screen to the other. You can jump over it if you have good enough jumping capabilities, but otherwise you're probably going to get smacked by this giant fucking Lego pizza.
Mm-hmm.
The final Smash cutscene will be mostly the same no matter which one of Pepper's character costumes is being used. However, if you are playing as a character besides Pepper, then the final dialogue line will be said by them instead of Pepper. So you get to hear Papa or Nick or whoever say it's the greatest pizza in the world.
Giving all of those VAs, if they're still alive, one more line.
Yep.
Nice.
There is. Originally, I was just going to pull from the final sequence of the game where you are driving the helicopter and shooting pizzas out of it. But it's like, nah, that's too expected. It's a little weird. Yeah, basically that's how it's gonna work. It's either gonna be like snakes or basically like minigun fire, but with pizzas.
Right. Like maybe I'll play this game sometime. Anyway.
It's
cool.
Not a great game. I did record it when I replayed it because why not? So here in a few months, 5 episodes of Lego Island will be uploaded to the wiki to Select Star Gaming.
The Select Star Gaming wiki.
Yes, there's not one. I don't see a point
Before
in making one.
the next Smashtopia episode, Zantok is going to make a Select Star Gaming wiki.
I absolutely will not.
Or he'll give me $500.
No. I could just make one. I could make a wiki, just have one page on it, and technically fulfill the requirements.
With pages for every episode, uploaded so far.
Technically also doable in easy ways, but I just like, all right, here's the page, here's the link. Page is
And
created.
profile pages for each member of Select Start Gaming and a biography for each.
And with just that definition, that's also easy to do.
As well as 3 select images.
I would have to talk to people, get pictures of them, which might be more difficult.
Okay, there we go.
There's over 1,000 videos.
And Mario Party Superstars. We'll have to play it all over again for a new series.
Oh, speaking of, there's actually rumors that the next Mario Party is being worked on right now, which really shouldn't be a surprise. It's about time for it. But
yeah, well,
yeah,
with how few boards there are in Superstars, that can just redo the same damn thing. Be like, oh, here's 5 more boards from the past. But
I would hope that it's not something like, I mean, they can do that, but also get another main one where it's like, okay, here's actual new content too.
Agreed. I would be fine if they gave us 5 new boards and 5 old boards.
Yeah, how slowly build up to Mario Kart, how they started doing it, and then in another like 10 years we get Mario Party Deluxe, Booster Course DLC. Every board comes back.
Yeah, and Inklings will be there, and Link and Kirby.
Yep.
In 10 years, we'll be in our 40s.
I'll be in my 40s sooner than that.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that's been really a lot of fun. I finally got to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's time for the actual thing that we're here for today.
Starts with an O, backwards.
It's ravioli.
Whoa!
Oh wait, no,
Garfield,
hold on. I read
back.
it wrong. I read it wrong. I'm sorry. It's just Ravio.
Oh.
Just Ravio. From The Legend of Zelda. A Link Between Worlds.
Just thought you had to think about that for a second.
I did, actually. I did.
Yeah, Ravio. What a sweet little guy.
Yeah.
Little unassuming boy.
He's a fun one because Link Between Worlds kind of builds. It's not quite how Link to the Past has like the light world and the dark world, which is a mirror version of Hyrule. A Link Between Worlds does similar, but it's Hyrule and Lorule.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any connection to the dark world, I honestly don't know. I didn't play the game. I found out Twilix did, so that's fun.
Great
I
game.
actually shared with him my ideas for Ravio, and he liked it. So
nice.
I have a personal victory there. But like each character has like a mirror to them. So like there's Princess Zelda, and there's Princess Hilda. There's Link, and there's Ravio? That's right. We're making a moveset for another version of Link. We weren't satisfied with Young Link and Toon Link. We're making another one.
It should have been obvious, but I didn't know that he was another Link at the start. I was actually surprised at the end. But you know, the motherfucker that blows a fucking hole in your house and sells items out of it that normally belong to Link. He has a little bird companion that's basically a fairy. It should have been obvious. Especially because Hilda is there in the beginning.
But who's Ganondorf in this situation?
Yuga.
Is it actually?
But he actually he just summons regular Ganon back to life. Big Ganon, and then possesses him and becomes this heinous animal. Looks horrible.
So it's like it's Bowletta all over again.
Yeah, it disturbs me. It disturbs me. Yeah. It's one of the weak points of the game, honestly. It's like, what the fuck? Just look at that bit.
I mean, it's kind of like with Mario. They have a problem introducing new villains without somehow being like, somehow Ganon returned.
Yep.
It's like, no, we always have to have
Uh,
Ganon or Bowser somehow. It's like, you really don't. It's okay to take a break for a game.
yeah. Yuga would have worked on his own. That's a good point. I didn't think much about the difference between the overworld and the dark world as well, but it makes you think, especially since a link between worlds link is a link to the past link, and the light world is the light world still, like 1-for-1 from the Super Nintendo. So
Mm-hmm.
something to think about. Um, all that said, Ravio's here to play. A spundly, not the first merchant from the Zelda series we've made a moveset for on this podcast. Technically,
Wait, who's the first Zelda character we made a moveset for on this podcast? We've only done Toon Link, Redo, and Midna.
is that so? Did
Unless
we
I'm
not
for
do Tingle?
no, we haven't made a Tingle moveset.
Did I dream this recently?
Yes, you did because I was
Wow.
looking because Tingle is still in my large pick of characters of possible to make a moveset of someday. We have not made a Tingle moveset, sir. You might be getting confused with Tom Nook that we made a moveset for, but that's from Animal Crossing.
Yeah, where was Tingle in anything we've done over the last couple of years? Nowhere? Wow, that's such a
Nowhere.
shock. I think I dreamt that we did one.
Never happened.
What what a sad dream.
Um, I'm
Well,
let me check something here.
but all the same.
So on Mercurios,
Yeah.
Tingle was made by a few people. Captain Olt made him twice, or 3 or 4 times. Dear God, Captain Olt. Uh, you made him on Mercurios
Okay. Okay.
twice.
That might be it. Might be going back into the bank a little bit farther than it.
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
no.
Rob.
So Captain Olt made him twice. You made him once, and then somebody else made him one time. Cooper Bros 64. The three of you have made Tingle movesets, but never on the podcast,
Super
never
Bro
with me.
64. Well, Ravio is the first merchant character from the Zelda series we're making a moveset for
Yep.
on this podcast. What a time that is. Time that's gonna be.
Yeah. So you want to get started?
You're
Talk about
muted.
the entrance. What? That's weird. I think I know. I got muted only on Discord.
Okay.
The podcast could hear me. So do you want to get started on his moveset then, or I guess his entrance?
Yeah, sure. I was thinking about like the timid, bashful nature of Ravio, and kind of settled on something that encapsulates that. So Shiro, the name of his sparrow thing companion, is seen comically hoisting Ravio onto the stage. Shiro's very small, so it's very difficult. But Shiro succeeds and drops Ravio off. Ravio stumbles a bit, but sticks his landing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine I pretty much just stole from Villager and Isabel, where you'll see Ravio's shop or Link's house on the stage. Ravio will walk out of the front door, close the door behind him, and then the building will shrink down to nothingness.
Well, that's also doable. I think this is one of the few times where our both of our entrances actually work and are equally viable. So, what are you kind of feeling?
I mean, I say go with yours just because it's a bit more difficult. It's just as blatantly doing what two other characters already do. Arguably three, because I think that's what we did for Tom Nook as well.
Oh well, shit. Yeah, okay. If Animal Crossing didn't already book it, I mean that would be a great entrance, but I'm okay with going with mine.
All right.
Sweet.
Kirby hat then. I think we probably both did the bunny hood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Uh,
think
I,
it's like
I,
gonna partially cover up his eyes, or just be like a hat?
I like the idea of it, like partially covering up his eyes. Probably not like the full, not like you can still see the, not like completely blind him. Um, because I think that
Mhm.
might look a little too ridiculous. But I definitely think it
Mhm.
should be like over like an oversized hat kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, okay.
oh, this was bigger than I thought it would be. It's covering my head.
I think that's a cute way to refer to Ravio, like using it to hide his identity. So yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, let's get to the taunts next then. What you got for our first taunt?
Ah, yes. Time for taunts and victory poses. What has historically been the crux of these moveset discussions? Let us see. Let me pull out my handy computer here. Uh, my first taunt is Ravio. He's holding out his hand, kind of like Pac-Man does in said taunt. He holds out his hand, and a random rental item appears above his hand. And he's motioning towards the item with his other hand, going like trying to sell it off to the other fighters. And that could be any number of rental items, the various rods, the bow, the bombs, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
For my first taunt, I have Ravio's companion Shiro will flitter about Ravio's head as Ravio looks on in wonder and follows his little friend, watches his little friend fly around.
Oh, that's cute. Um, I have one with Shiro as well. So Ravio hoists, or maybe he just has materialized in front of him, his rental rupee bag. So a rupee on a bag with a little bunny hood on the rupee, and he's looking inside of it, like ruffling through the rupees as Shiro is perched on his shoulder and looking over into the bag of rupees with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
For my second one, Ravio will face towards the screen and shrug at the player. As this occurs, Shiro will fly up from behind Ravio and mimic his expression the best he can, because I read that Shiro will try to copy Ravio's mannerisms as best as his little
Mm-hmm.
bird body can. She's like, all right, I can try and make something out of
That's
this.
right. That's true. I forgot about that. Cool. Okay. So what was the expression Ravio does again? I'm just keeping notes.
It's just a shrug,
Okay.
which
Ravio
is
shrugs.
I pulled that from. It's something that he does.
And Hyrule Warriors.
No, not Heroes. In his intro, talking to Link at the
Oh
start
right.
of Between Worlds.
And there's some art like that if I recall.
Yeah.
Okay. For my final taunt, Ravio turns away from the camera and removes his hood, obscuring his face from the player while he wipes off his brow and sighs. He's exhausted from the battle.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
Okay? Ravio is turned away from the camera as he removes his hood. So his face is obscured from the player while he wipes his brow and sighs in
Okay.
exhaustion.
Okay. So, something I was thinking, just like I was going to discuss something with the costumes. Um, no unhooded
Agreed.
appearances. Yeah,
Agreed.
I think it's very important to keep Ravio hooded. We don't see who he is ever. Kind of like Meta Knight in this mask. Although it does appear at something. I don't remember when it appears.
Meta Knight's just a second Kirby.
It's true. Don't tell him that. So for my third taunt, I need to get up. All right. So for my third taunt, Robbie's going to do a short twirling dance as he flutters his arms
Oh my
like
god.
this, which is pulled from the intro where he meets Link.
Oh my
I
god.
did not watch very much of Link Between Worlds, but I watched the scene where he meets Link.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow. So that's fast tracked, of course. After the effort put into that. That was great. That was great. Perfect. Perfect. Uh Victory poses then.
Victory poses. What you got?
Okay. My first victory pose. Ravio sighs heavily, exhausted from battle, and sets a big bag of rupees down that he promptly sits on, resting his chin in his hands as Shiro perches upon his head.
So this next one also comes from the beginning of Link Between Worlds. I'm not going to get up this time around, but it's another dance.
Yeah.
Ravio will dance as he bounces from one foot to the other, while also twirling in place. Ravio will be raising his arms above his head in joy as he goes through this dance. I think he might do this when I don't remember exactly what makes him do this. It's towards the end of the conversation though, when Link wakes up. But Shiro will also be flying next to Ravio as he dances and twirls in place along with him, flapping his wings like Ravio is moving his hands around.
Nice. Well, that leaves me pretty nicely flush into my second victory pose. Ravio dances cheerfully, twirling in place, surprised by his win, as Shiro joins in his jovial dance.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Same fucking thing. This happens on this podcast.
It does. It's scary sometimes.
Okay, on to your third then.
My second, actually.
For your second, my bad.
My second victory pose, Ravio will swing the sand rod around as he causes a stream of sand to swirl around him as he then twirls in place.
Nice. Okay, my third one. Ravio leans on his side, almost like the floor is a lounge chair, as Shiro hops around on his hood or his shoulders or something. I took that from Hyrule Warriors. When you meet Ravio in Hyrule Warriors, he's just kind of laying there like this.
Oh, okay. So when you say lean on his side, you mean like he's laying down like the day-to-day taunt?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You said lean on his side. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Lay on his side.
Lay on his side. That makes more sense. Okay. So for my third one, Ravio will leap up into the air with joy as his arms are outstretched above him. Shiro will, of course, fly around Ravio's head and hold his wings out in a similar manner. I'm just stealing straight from Ravio animations with a lot of these.
Wow, that's good. He's an expressive character. There's a lot of ability to do that.
Yeah. I mean, when you hide a character's face, you really have to make them expressive in other ways.
Yeah, which is also a fun antecedent to Link because Link is not that guy.
Nope.
Okay.
So, what are we doing for taunts and victory poses then?
Good question. I believe that we both just kind of agreed that his moving his arms around is a simple and effective taunt that should be there.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
And then we also both had pretty much the same dance for victory pose, so that's making it.
That's in, yep, of course. So what else are we working with here? I know you have the one where Ravio is looking at Shiro fly over his head from you. We have the one where Ravio and Shiro both shrug at the opponent.
Yep, well, at the screen, actually.
What was that?
At the screen, they shrug.
Okay. That's funny to think about. And then from me, we have the removing the hood but not seeing the face as he wipes his brow. We have the bag of rupees that he shuffles through with Shiro, and we have the rental item summoning in his hand. These are just the taunts. Is there anything that we feel strongly about? Of all these options, I'm kind of liking the shrug. I mean, especially knowing that it's unofficial artwork.
I was leaning. Tell me the one about the rupees again.
Okay, Ravio opens his rental bag of rupees and looks into it with ruffles around with Shiro peering over his shoulder.
Okay, I like that one.
Okay.
I like that one for sure. And then I think the third one, either the shrug or your one with fuck, I forgot. Not the rental roulette because we have that for Pac-Man, and then There's another character I did recently where I did the same thing. So my mind is it's like, oh, that's three of that, but that's also me being biased. I just did
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
The other one is where he removes his hood from the
That's
back.
right. That's right. I think the shrug or the obscured um,
Hmm.
turning his back and wiping his brow.
Right. But you like the rupee bag the most, is what you're saying. Of
Yes.
those three.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm comfortable saying let's do that one. For the third, it's hard to say. The shrug again is like a thing that happens. It's something that people in when they have an image of Robbie on their heads, it's one of the poses that they know that he does. Um, and then on the other hand, Ravio's identity is a major key point in the game, and having so both they're on equal footing in those regards. Um, I could go either way. I guess I'll defer to you.
Do you think it's better to not acknowledge Ravio's identity, kind of like how Ravio himself doesn't, and not have him reveal it, kind of like how Sheik doesn't reveal "Hi, I'm Zelda."
It could go either way. I don't feel super strongly about it, but I mean that is a counter argument. Makes the shrug a little easier to swallow.
I mean, that's my thought.
Okay, yeah, that's
Hubliga.
for the audio listeners. That means we went with the shrug.
Okay. Victory poses. Then we've already got the dance as he twirls about. I also had him causing a stream of sand to swirl around him as he does more twirling, and then him leaping to there with joy with his arms outstretched, and Shiro then holds out his wings in a similar manner.
Right. That's kind of funny. You can almost freeze frame that one.
I can almost what?
You can almost freeze frame that one.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I mean,
funny.
that's kind of how the vision I have in mind is that it would freeze frame.
Okay. No, well, that's cool. So yeah, we have the dance. Um, we have the lounging like King Dedede. We have the sitting on the bag of rupees at the end, and then we have yours, the stand and the leap. Um, I like the leap a lot. I think that is an easy one to include.
I agree.
The sand rod is good. The sand rod is good. I would almost be comfortable saying that one too. My only thought is an item doesn't appear anywhere else.
True.
So would it be a little odd to have this one item highlighted,
I think it would only be odd if the sand rod is also in the moveset.
implying that perhaps it is not in yours?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Okay.
It was very
Okay.
easy for me to come up with the visual of the sand rod being used in the
Mhm.
victory post. That's why I decided to have it.
Yeah. 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 The problem with that argument is that I don't think my other two are very strong.
I know one of them was the rupees, but I'm thinking since we have rupee taunt, we don't need rupee victory post. What was your other one?
The other one is him just lounging on the ground because that's kind of how you find him in Hyrule Warriors. You see him laying like King Dedede kind of with Shiro on a brick encampment, like just chilling.
Let me give you. I don't remember exactly what the exactness of what you wrote down, but here's an idea. Ravio is sleeping, so he's maybe there's a light snore or something. Shiro pecks him on the head to wake him up, and he's basically just like a ha, and just gets shocked awake.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And she could be lounging on the floor or on a chair lounge thing, something like that.
With his head resting on the rupee sack.
No, okay, there you go. There you go. Ravio resting on his rupee sack.
Yeah.
Good times. Well, there you go. That was easier than I thought it would be.
All right. Well, now it's time for the moveset.
Ugh,
So,
bloody hell.
who wants to start here?
Flip a coin. Heads or tails?
Heads for me, tails for you. Oh, I caught it like this. That does not help. Ah, whoops. I caught
Unless you
it
want
in
to go
between my
offline.
fingers. There
There
we
you
go.
go. Okay.
It's tails.
Okay, Miles, this is for you. Um, my standard special, as this might be a little indicative of where we're going in general, is the ice rod. Yes, Ravio uses the ice rod. That's the first sentence here. It's very, very profound, succinct. Uh, just pressing the button will have him shoot a burst of ice directly in front of himself. Like, what? It's a burst of ice, like a snowflake just appears. It's very large and can hurt you. Holding the standard button has him summoning an icy dial to telegraph where he will let it loose with the burst of ice. This is not a chargeable move though. There's a little startup lag to it. It's a nice strong hit that has a chance of freezing you at higher percentages.
Okay.
Blammo.
So what I'm doing for my moveset is I'm pulling only from Ravio's shop of the things that he can sell the player.
Oh, me too.
In Ravio's shop, it has, the classic bow, it's got hammer, a couple other things, but also has the rods. And I decided I'm only going to look at the rods. Because all this other stuff is stuff that Link normally uses. Then
Yeah.
throw those out. We've seen bow and arrow and boomerang and bombs.
There are
Boring.
ways that he uses them uniquely in Hyrule Warriors,
Yes.
but I was underwhelmed when I looked at his moveset in Hyrule Warriors, honestly.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. It's like he has a couple, like one or two rods, like I think the fire and the sand rod, but he's mostly using his hammer, the bombs.
Ice rod, actually.
Like, yeah, ice rod. That's like, well, whatever. So, yes, you and I are on the same footing here.
We're on the same footing. In fact, my standard special is the ice rod.
Nice.
So for my use of the ice rod, it's a little bit different than yours. It's actually very similar to how the ice rod is used in Link Between Worlds. Ravio will pull out the ice rod and create a crystal of ice in front of him, which, it appears, it doesn't appear directly in front of him. It appears in front, but also above. The ice will hang in the air for a couple moments before it falls straight downwards. Mm-hmm. This ice has a chance to freeze other fighters and can even meteor smash if it hits opponents directly above. It's similar to Villager's side smash attack, where he pulls out the bowling ball and he just drops it. And if you drop this right over the ledge of the stage, somebody that's right under there trying to recover is fucked.
Nice. Yeah, and I do think that's a powerful enough move to where you're just having it in front of them. But okay, cool, good. My side special is the fire rod. Trying to look at your face. Ravio lets loose with the fire rod. Just doing a simple input will have him send out a quick fireball, as it were, as it goes. Holding the inputs will let him move back and forth while holding the rod, and it'll let loose with a flamethrower, similar to Bowser and Charizard. You can move it up and down a little bit and have it travel like 4 to 5 Kirby's across as it slowly disintegrates and loses steam over time.
Okay. Yeah. So my side special is Fire Rod. But it works differently.
Yeah. This is Gengar all over again.
Once again, this Fire Rod is being pulled more directly from A Link Between Worlds. Ravio will pull out the Fire Rod and give it a good swing as he creates a small tower of flames in front of him. This tower of flames will travel forwards for a short distance before it dissipates. Opponents who are hit by the tower will be carried along with it as they take multiple small hits of fire damage or they get knocked away at the end. This move can be charged up, but it will just make the tower travel a farther distance.
Nice. Good. Okay. My up special is the Tornado Rod. I'm going to make a bold guess and say that this is where we're going to veer. And your usage of and placement of the rods. But we will see in a moment if that prediction is correct. For my F special, Ravio uses the tornado rod, and it works like it does in the game, as I think it's one of the few ways that it really can. He travels up in a quick burst of air that can take him about twice or maybe 1.5 times as far as Martha's Dolphin Slash. The trade-off being Ravio can't attack during this move and is kind of a floating duck. You can cancel You can cancel the move at any time during the move's ascent or descent. The propeller does light damage, a la, again, like K-Roll's thing, helicopter propeller.
Okay. All right. So, my special. It's the sand rod!
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
And this time, we're not taking things directly from Link Between Worlds. In fact, the same will be true when we get to my usage, the tornado rod. Because the sand rod is just used to create pills of sand in front of you. And, okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. So what I decided to do, Ravio will raise the sand rod and create a pillar of sand directly below him.
Yeah.
This pillar of sand will rise quickly as it carries Ravio up with it into the air. The sand pillar will remain on the stage for a few seconds, acting as a solid barrier and platform that other fighters can make use of. The pillar will crumble over time, causing it to get shorter and can be destroyed completely if it takes enough damage. If this move is used in the air, the sand pillar will crumble away immediately after its creation, and only one sand pillar can be on the stage at a time. If Ravio uses this move a second time, the original sand pillar will immediately crumble into dust.
Okay. Very good. Interesting. My down specials is sand rod.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ravio uses the sand rod to erect a pillar of sand directly in front of him. This is a chargeable move that can make the pillar of sand go a little higher if you spend a couple seconds charging it. But mostly it's akin to Villager's Tree, where it offers a barrier for Ravio, and as well as a platform that anyone can use and hop on. It'll break down over time, sink further into the ground over time, much like yours, much like in the game. Elements like water break it down faster than other elements. Normal, it'll take multiple hits to be dispersed. And if an opponent is directly in front of Ravio, when the sand pillar is is raised from the ground, they can be trapped inside of the sand pillar.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going to
go. They can be encapsulated within the sand pillar and have to shake around and break out over time. But over that period of time, they're being slowly damaged as they're constricted. So a light and quick entrapment element to the move.
All right. So my down special is, of course, the tornado rod. Shocker of shocks. Ravio will raise the tornado rod above him as violent winds will quickly whip their way around him for a second. These winds are a defensive measure that Ravio can use to damage and push back opponents who are right next to him, as well as reflect projectiles away with greater speed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. It's kind of like a reasonable gust bellows.
It's more of a reflector.
Okay, well, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's basically Fox's reflector if you think about it.
So you have two that are the same as the game and two that are not, and you chose the two that would be a little less interesting if they were just directly translated to make them different. So okay, that works. Okay, final smash time.
Actually, I think we should skip to the extra skill.
Okay. Extra skill was kind of rough for me here. It's like, what are we supposed to do for Ravio? So I leaned on his rentals. I don't really know how this is going. I suspect you'll have a more fleshed out idea. But for mine, it's Ravio's rentals. All of the rods that Ravio uses are rentable items.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little bunny hood on top of them that shows that they're not purchased yet. Um, these items are rented by Ravio until it's, which is kind of ironic because he's the one who rents it, but you know, they're rented until the specials are collectively used up to a certain point, at which point Ravio owns them. The bunny hood comes off, and they become 0.2 to 0.4 times stronger so long as Ravio is not KO'd.
Okay.
That's all.
That sounds like it's more of a unique trait for Ravio than it is an extra skill input.
Possibly, but what do you have?
What I have is, first of all, I'll ask. I want you to keep in mind things that a shopkeep might say to somebody after they've made a purchase and are leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to tell me, what is it called when you upgrade the weapons in A Link Between Worlds?
Freak if I remember.
They're called nice. So you'll have the nice bombs, the
Oh,
nice boomerang,
that's
the
right.
nice
That's
ice rod.
yes,
And
yes, yes.
shopkeeps might tell somebody, have a nice day. So I have named this extra skill, have a nice day. It's a meter mechanic. Standard meter mechanic rules. You do damage, you get hit, meter builds, activate the meter once it's full, and you'll power up Ravio's rod specials for a short time, as they all get upgraded into their nice variants.
Mm-hmm.
The nice ice rod will create a larger ice crystal, which does more damage. The nice fire rod will create 2 identical towers of flame, one after the other, but there will be enough of a gap between them that they don't overlap. The nice sand rod will create a taller sand pillar, which can bring Ravio further up into the air. It is also more durable, so that it lasts longer and can be used as a platform for longer. And the nice tornado rod will have the wind's reflective capabilities last for just slightly longer, and the reflected projectiles will now deal increased damage on return.
Sweet. That's a lot like my idea, but actually fleshed out and realized.
It's
I
not fleshed
thought-
out as much as it will be if it gets chosen. It's bare bones details, but
obviously it's being chosen. The things that we'll need to figure out are just the mechanics of the individual moves from there.
right. Any variants that aren't mine that we choose, we'll have to come up with a nice variant of them.
Mm-hmm. If any, I mean that your moveset is very, very strong. Nice. It's very nice. But we'll get there. I guess Final Smash now.
Final Smash now.
Okay. My Final Smash is called Sales Rush. You know, because he sells things. He's rushing to sell them. So Ravio swings his hammer forward. Again, kind of like King Dedede in his Final Smash CGI, you know, where he puts on the mask and he's like swinging his hammer around in the opening. So it's like that, but this is not CGI. This is the activating move. So Ravio gets this big hammer out, swings it around the circle, and just flies forward. Anyone caught in this is brought into the animation. So what is the animation? Ravio's there, hoisting his hammer, and behind him comes a collective of other merchants from throughout the Zelda series. This includes Beetle, Kilton, Zunari, the Wandering Goron merchant from Wind Waker, Minish Cap, etc., and Staccato, as well as a final special guest we'll get to in a minute. This is an onslaught of the different merchants. First, Beetle uses the Huoi pair to have seagulls launch down onto the opponents and attack them. Zunari drops a giant vault on them. The Goron merchant slaps them with his big bag. Kilton uses a collection of monster parts to have an elemental explosion occur. Staccato throws out lamp oil onto the opponents before Rosy Rupee Lance Tingle appears at the end, hoisted by his balloons, and drops bombs on them with a jovial Kululimpa before Ravio finishes with one final huge swing of his hammer, and it's done.
I I like it. I like it a lot. There's a few merchants and it's like, where is this merchant? Like, where's the Happy Mass salesman? Where's Beetle? Where's Mallow of Mallow Mart?
Oh my god, Mallow needs to be there. I mean, that could be workshopped in. And
I
Happy Mass Gentleman. Oh
I
man,
will
yeah,
also mention before I go into my final smash, my alts for Ravio, with the exception of one of them, are all inspired by various shopkeepers from the Zelda
oh
franchise.
sweet, nice,
Yeah, which
nice.
I guess I can go ahead and just mention them since we're on the
Okay.
topic. I had the Happy Mass Salesman, Beetle,
Mhm.
Linebeck, Mr. Barton from the Milk Bar,
Yeah.
Mallow, Madame Couture, which is who was from Triforce Heroes,
Okay.
Kilton and Colton in one,
Oh, nice.
and Morshoe. Yes,
Oh my god.
From the CDI games, Morshoe.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
the 10th alt is specifically written down as being Link Green. So he has a Link. So his bunny outfit
Oh,
is
I see.
Link
I see.
Green
I
because
see.
it's a referencing
Clever.
Link. Yeah.
Clever. Nice.
But now for my final smash, which this final smash is another thing that shopkeepers might do because sometimes people just want to know. Okay, well, can you give me a free demonstration? So that's called
Yeah.
free. So this final smash is free demonstration. Ravio will pull out his rental hammer, which, by the way, I figure would be part of his regular normal attacks, much like how he
Yeah.
uses in Hyrule Warriors.
Agreed.
He'll take out the rental hammer and give a big old swing forwards to smack anyone in front of him into a cinematic, which is almost Looney Tunes style.
Yeah.
Ravio will then proceed to give a free demonstration of his rentable rods against the opponent. Ravio will start out by holding the tornado and sand rods as he summons up a giant sand tornado, which picks up the opponent and then traps him inside of it. So they are stuck in that thing. Sand is pelting on the face. The wind is carrying them around in it.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh god, how do I get out? It's like, oh, you don't want to be trapped in the sand tornado anymore. I can do that too. So now he pulls out the fire rod, which he uses to create an inferno of flames, which transforms the sand tornado into a large glass sculpture because fire plus sand equals glass. So now the
Yeah.
fighter is trapped in this glass sculpture.
Yeah.
Well, and how do they get out now? Well, now Ravio pulls out the ice rod, which he uses to create a gigantic block of ice that gets hurled at the tornado sculpture, smashes against it, sending shards of ice and glass flying around as the fighter gets sent careening out of the cinematic. And never will they ask for a free sample ever again.
Cool. Good. A culmination of it
Yeah,
all together, all in this together, just like Troy Bolton used to say.
I don't know who that is.
Maybe you don't want to know.
Probably not.
Yeah. Maybe one day there'll be a Smashtopia submission. In the meantime.
Okay. I don't know who it is, so I can't really comment. The joke's lost on me.
Yeah, let's piece this crap together.
Let's piece this together. So,
naturally, your extra skill.
Yeah,
Bam.
absolutely.
Yeah, easy. I'm just gonna put this thought out there into the ether. I'm gonna vote for my final smash.
I'm gonna vote for your final smash, but with a caveat. I want more merchants involved.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I want this expanded. I want this to be stupid.
Morshoe jumps on in there.
I want Morshoe. I want the Happy Mass Salesman. I want Mallow. And then any other more ones that you can. Madame Couture could be funny because she's the fashion shop. So I don't know what you do with that, but that'd be funny.
We'll figure it out.
The fact that you didn't have Beetle or Linebeck honestly surprised me. It's like
Beetle was there.
was he? Okay, I missed it. I missed it because Beetle absolutely should be there. Linebeck is less important. Mr. Barton is not important unless you would have him pour milk on that.
What?
It'd be funny.
Well, why not now?
he pours a giant thing of milk and they trip on it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Workshop that. Add more merchants.
Okay, that's great. I will do that, and I will get you those notes post haste so we can get it on the wiki. All that said, we had the same general idea for the standard side up and down, and but more or less only one of our variants could be chosen, maybe with workshopping and elements from each other's into whatever we choose as the base.
Right.
I will say right now, and I don't know if you agree or if this should be discussed further before we do this or anything else, but I do feel that your moveset on the overall, and this is something to be spoken for each move, is overall stronger than mine. I do feel this way. I feel that I like, especially with the fire and the ice rods, like just using them how they are in the game. Yeah, I actually thought a little too hard on those. It's like, we don't need to do anything different. Naturally, I mean, I was looking a little bit into Hyrule Warriors, though, so it muddied the field a bit.
Yeah,
But
I watched Hyrule Warriors gameplay, but I wasn't really
Yeah.
enthused. But even like none of it struck me with
Yeah.
cool ideas. So then I watched how they work in Link Between Worlds. Was like, okay, these two can be directly translated, and they seem great to me. Like, I wouldn't necessarily fight for how I had the Tornado Rod. I wouldn't necessarily fight for how I had the Fire Rod. But the Ice Rod, a projectile that goes downward for a standard special, is a completely new thing.
I concur. But I think the way you have your fire rod set up, it becomes a natural complement to the way the ice rod is set up, with it being more of a slightly ranged attack that works. It's good. I actually think my two better special moves are the tornado and sand rod, but the way that you execute yours in a different way makes them more interesting at the same time. If we like, the reflector element of the tornado rod was something that I just would not have thought of. That was really strong. The sand rod works as an up special.
Yeah, that was born about because, like, as we talked before, reflectors, counters, blah. But I really didn't want to do tornado rod. It's just like the tornado sends you up in the air. It's like,
yeah, you could almost add that reflector element to my up special, but then it feels OP.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the idea of having like creating a platform to boost you up into the air, and then other fighters can temporarily use that. It has shades of Pac-Man's trampoline, but a bit different, and it serves as an obstacle on the field. It's like, that's really cool and different.
Yeah, and my sand rod encapsulating the opponent, that I thought was cool. It was good. It was uncanny, but it's not necessary in enough special. So my thought here is, let's just go with your shit.
Okay, I did not anticipate going into that. I thought I was gonna be like railroaded over. Like, I was expecting, like, okay, he's gonna know things. He's been spending days working on Ravio. It's gonna blow mine out. But at least I can throw out there that, hey, it looks like mine, so I have victory here.
Well, at least I'm happy with my final smash.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I mean, I think mine is also good, but I love bringing in a lot of the different merchants from Zelda in yours for like a big old ensemble.
If we can bring in fucking Frankie Rabbit, what the fuck, or Rabbit Cranky for
yes.
Frankie, I mean, then why not, right?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
when we have Rabbit Cranky, Morshu is just barely pushing the envelope a little further. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not. It's not like I'm rooted. This just happens from time to time.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I did. I mean, I kind of rushed the moveset. I've been working on it for days, but it's been like one sentence here and there. It's been a little busy. It's been a busy time for me. But I mean, I'm happy with how this turned out.
All right. So we've got it settled then. Ice Rod, Fire Rod, Sand Rod, Tornado Rod. Great names. What did you call your final smash again?
Sales Rush.
Sales Rush. Then we have Have a Nice Day. and that's the Ravio moveset.
Just the way you said that reminded me of Horace Barbie from Toy Story 2. Good times.
Who
Or was it
in Toy
3?
Story 2?
Yeah, the Barbie that drives the car.
Was there a Barbie in Toy Story 2?
It was either 2 or 3. I can't remember.
I
Was it?
remember. I know Ken was in 3. I assume Barbie. I feel like Barbie was also in
Yeah,
3.
yeah, I believe so. There was the funny monkey as well with the symbols. It
That's
was just a
3.
security guy.
That's 3.
Yeah, that was great. That was a Toy Story 4.
Two's villains were Big Al and Prospector Pete.
Yeah, yes. And then there's Lacho Hugging Bear.
I have an affinity with lots of Hug and Bear. Not because I like hugs, but because I he's fun as a villain.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He is. Well, there's a moveset.
Yeah, there's a moveset. I mentioned my alternate colors. Did you have any alternate colors that you wanted to go over?
Nothing that I was just like, oh, it's black, it's white, it's gray.
Yeah.
So yeah, yours is good. Let's do that.
If you have any other suggestions on good merchants for me to look up, since you mentioned a few that I didn't find in my research, send those to me and I'll look them up and I'll see if I can put them anywhere. I
Okay.
don't know who off the top of my head I would remove first. I would probably Beetle, just because of his color scheme, because Linebeck has more interesting colors. Beetle is just well, he's shirtless, so there's not much I can really design off of his outfit. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
maybe Mallow, unfortunately, might have to get knocked out depending on what you give me. But
Okay. We shall see. But in the meantime, we got to wrap this up with a home stage.
Unique traits?
No.
No.
They could do the duck walk.
I don't know what that is. I'm skipping it. Home stage. All I wrote down was low roll. I don't really know where in low roll. I didn't play Link's Roll. I didn't watch it. So I'm just low roll. Maybe it's a traveling stage. I don't know.
That works, or like I said, low roll castle. So whatever works between the two.
Okay. I'll write down low roll castle, and eventually, if one of us makes the thing, if we decide to turn into low roll in general, we can do that. But low roll castle, sure.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
There he is. Ravio.
Ravioli.
Oivar. That's Ravio backwards. Starts with an O.
Now add an X into it, and he can become a nobody.
Yeah. He wants to be a nobody.
Vaxior.
Yeah.
That's his nobody name. Vaxior. I declare. This is the Kingdom Hearts crossover part of the episode. So now, we're done with Ravio, but what are we doing next? Well, we're in the episode. But next episode, what are we doing? It's a Smasher Dash, and this one, we're going with some childhood characters and games that we were fond of, and we're gonna make them go head to head. So that'll be a thing.
Time has finally come.
Your childhood versus my childhood.
Where they converge, no one knows.
Well, no, that's true.
Well, actually,
that's true.
We know.
We know who the opponents are. We don't know what the winners are going to be.
No, I don't. I have no idea. It's far too evenly matched to even consider. We'll get there.
In 2 weeks.
Indeed.
All right. Well, with that, see you all next time.
Have a nice day.